Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Hello. Politicians who defect from their political party could be booted from Parliament under a radical new plan. The Liberals pledging to introduce new laws which they say will guarantee stability. But opponents have slammed the measure, labelling it as anti-democratic.
The road to an early election began when Lara Alexander and John Tucker moved to the crossbench last year, critical of Jeremy Rockliff's leadership. That same Liberal leader wants to avoid history repeating itself.
Ensuring that the will of the voters are respected when it comes to the parliament they elect.
Promising a stability clause, MPs who leave their party could be forced to forfeit their seat. Even those who stay in the party could be kicked out if they refuse to quit and act against the party's interest. One defector has slammed the policy.
Just tyranny, in my opinion. He's trying to be a dictator and to muzzle everyone in Parliament.
Confident it's unconstitutional, Mr Tucker also pointed to Madeleine Ogilvy's rise through the Liberal ranks.
She left the Labor Party to become an independent, then they endorsed her as a Liberal.
What this does is bring confidence and certainty to the Tasmanian Parliament.
Political analyst Richard Hurst says while it's up to Parliament to manage itself, there are issues to address.
Questions about how much parties become the gatekeepers of our politics.
Labor offering its own advice to Jeremy Rockliff.
The way to keep his members in the tent is to be a good leader, and that's something he's failed at.
The Premier also defending his deputy. After it was revealed a briefing was sent to then Police Minister Michael Ferguson regarding Paul Reynolds, 2 days before the alleged paedophile cop's police funeral.
It was a mistake to have the funeral. That's been acknowledged and apologised by the Police Commissioner.
Mr Ferguson says while he can't remember when he read it, he usually notes it once read. The briefing was noted 3 weeks after being delivered. And Labor today was talking education, promising a multi-million-dollar investment in new staff and infrastructure and a review of the education system.
We are going to leave no child behind, and we're going to throw the kitchen sink at this to get kids on track with their learning.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
An uncontrollable bushfire near Cygnet has prompted an emergency warning from the Tasmania Fire Service. Residents of Donahue Road, Cubes Road, Petches Bay and surrounding areas are being told to leave immediately. The fire danger rating is moderate, the blaze travelling toward Petches Bay. Updates can be found at the Tas Alerts website. The state's footy fans will have the chance to join the AFL's newest team for a bargain price. Founding memberships for the Tasmania Football Club will be available for just $10. Details on how to join will be released at the club's launch event tomorrow night, where the team's name, logo and jumper will be unveiled. 7 Tasmania News will have special coverage of all the action. Tasmania turned a sea of emerald green today as numerous St Patrick's Day celebrations got underway. Thousands of revellers turning out to their local Irish pubs to celebrate, with twice as many Guinnesses gleefully poured.
St Paddy's Day celebrations started early at Hobart's New Sydney Hotel.
Well, we have been here since almost 6:30 in the morning.
Happy St Patrick's Day!
Pubs across the state getting into the spirit, celebrating Ireland's heritage and culture on a much-loved day.
Camaraderie and all the friends you meet. We are from 4 different places of the world.
Of course, traditional music and dancing proved a big part of the day. The St Andrews Caledonian Pipe Band paying a visit to the Irish in Launceston. Luck of the Irish proving true for rugby fans. Ireland securing a win against Scotland in this year's Six Nations in Dublin.
For the Irish, India.
It wasn't a grand slam, but we tasted it. Didn't we, Sean? We tasted it. And all that's important is it isn't even the Ireland-Scotland match. What's most important is that France beat England.
Some going to a little extra trouble to dress up.
Look, it's a bit of an effort, like to put all the dye and everything in. I don't know, it took me about an hour and a half this morning.
Different shades of green, the only dress code for today.
And the celebrations are expected to continue well into tonight and for the Guinness to keep flowing. Am I right, guys?
Last year we went through 30 kegs of Guinness, so We're hoping to break that record. My parents are Irish, so I got it today.
Doing the Irish proud all the way from Tasmania. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
We love you, Tasmania.
3,000 activists have turned out in Hobart CBD calling for the next state government to end native forest logging across Tasmania. Community members proceeding from the farm gate markets to Parliament lawns and were joined by the Bob Brown Foundation, the Tasmanian Aboriginal community and Greens members.
End native forest logging!
The protest forms part of the nationwide March in March for Forests campaign. State Labor has vowed to strengthen the fire response in areas of greatest need, including the Northwest, if elected.
The Northwest Coast has had significant resource issues for quite some time. In fact, the government committed to undertake work to identify exactly what was needed in the Northwest so they could resource it, and they've never actually released that work.
Saying it will also upgrade volunteer fire stations if elected to government.
It's critical that we have additional support services in place for volunteer firefighters. They're giving up their time on a regular basis, giving up paid work in order to serve their communities. It's unacceptable that they're not getting the support they need, the training they need, the equipment that they need.
The Liberals yesterday committed to employing an additional permanent firefighter day crew on the Northwest Coast. It's been 100 years since the RACT's first club car run, and 50 specialty and historic vehicles from across the ages have turned out to Government House, replicating the 1923 convoy from Hobart to New Norfolk.
We've got a couple of old RACT vehicles, the FJ Holden and the Escort. Fortunately today I think the CEO gets to choose one of the cars to take home, so no, I'm only joking.
Each vehicle has been kept in mint condition and holds a special family story or memory. It was with a tinge of sadness that garden lovers flocked for the 10th and final Garlic and Tomato Festival today in the state's north. Hosts and founders Annette and Neville Reid deciding they're not getting any younger and it's time to call it a day.
Who would have thought a celebration of humble vegetables could command such attention? For the past 10 years, Annette Reid and her husband Neville have hosted the quirky festival on their natural garlic and tomato farm.
Overwhelmed, perhaps. I think it's just amazing, to think this is our place and all these people turn up to it,
The farm grows over 130 varieties of tomatoes, most of them on display to an intrigued public.
Quite astonished just looking along the table line here. There must be dozens and dozens and dozens of varieties.
They turn up for the tomato tours, eager to learn the secrets of growing good produce, often surprised to learn that the tomatoes are planted in the same location year after year. But the clues are there.
Good soil's the staple of all our livelihoods basically, and growing tomatoes and garlic's only part of it. And if we can get good soil and grow the produce that basically turns an income around this place, then all the better it is.
At these events, the recipes are shared, everyone eager to know how best to make use of tomatoes and garlic in a dish, especially when it comes from a top chef's lips.
It's a tomato and stone fruit salad, which is what I'm about to demo. Often with some type of cheese. I just feel like in Tasmania in the summer you would need to really profit from those ingredients when they're in season. And that's kind of just what I want to eat when it's hot.
Now that's food for thought. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmanian News.
The JackJumpers have gone down to Melbourne United 104-81 in Game 1 of the NBL Grand Final Series. In a lacklustre display, the Jackies' defence was overwhelmed by Melbourne's talls, while their offence just couldn't get going. Chris Golding top scoring for Melbourne with 22 points.
With championship glory up for grabs, both sides were hunting a winning start to the Grand Final Series. The Jackies getting in and under early in the game. United, though, also looking dangerous.
Travels from long range.
Milton returning fire under the ring.
Doyle left it short, second time around, stepped his way through traffic and scores.
Jordan Crawford hit the scoreboard early, but it would be United taking a narrow lead into the first break. Melbourne opened the gap in the second term. Leading by 10 points at half-time, United's tall timber and turnovers caused headaches for the visitors.
And a steal by Lawala. Look out!
They're the mistakes you can't afford.
Goulding was menacing from the three-point line. The Jackies' defence looking shaky.
This end of the floor. Just can't stop Melbourne.
Doyle and Drimmick found some points late in the third, but every time Tasmania got close, Melbourne pulled away.
Second look for Melbourne off the bow, an offensive rebound. Dellavedova with his feet set.
Ian Clark dealt a hammer blow right on three-quarter time.
Plenty of time for Clark. Got it!
There'd be no miracle comeback this time around. United too strong. The Jackies with work to do before Friday. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. I hope you got through St Patrick's Day without too much trouble. A great day for Irish descendants and expats. Weather no trouble though. Hobart 26 degrees today, 27 in Launceston, Devonport 24 and Burnie 22. Temperatures sat between 2 and 4 above average. Grove and Ouse recorded 26, Friendly Beaches and the Bass Strait Islands 25, Strawn 24 and St Helens 23. And just some patchy low-level cloud over the north with clear skies for most of Tasmania today. A look at the bigger picture in most of New South Wales, Victoria, southern Queensland and east and south Australia had low cloud containing thunderstorms, and tropical cyclone Megan has things going on over the Gulf of Carpentaria. Tomorrow, Megan looks like crossing the coastline too. A ridge of high pressure to our east will direct a more northerly airstream over us. So those north to northeasterly winds will increase to 20 to 30 knots over the north, east and southeast tomorrow. And with that, we have a strong wind warning. That's from Sandy Cape to Stanley and also from Flinders Island to St Helens Point, and also for waters between Wineglass Bay and Low Rocky Point. Into tomorrow we go. Recovery Day. Hobart mostly sunny and 28. Dover the same. 29 the top for Ouse. Launceston shooting for a high of 27 with a shower or two moving in. Showers for Devonport 24 and 24 the top for Scottsdale. Burnie showery and 21, 27 for Strawn, a sunny day and a possible shower for Stanley though, a top of 24 degrees. And for St Helens, a shower or two, 23, 25 for Swansea, partly cloudy for Ross and 26. More showers developing across the state on Tuesday. Clearing in the rain will happen on Wednesday, however maybe a shower still for the north and northeast and west. A possible shower for Strawn on Thursday, but fine and mostly sunny elsewhere. Sunny as well in Perth and Adelaide, both looking at 30 degrees, a bit warmer in Melbourne and fine. Showers though forecast for Canberra, Sydney and Brisbane. Sunny here, Hobart 20, 22 in Launceston, Devonport currently 20 degrees. And currently in Ireland, St Patrick's Day has just kicked off. It's 8 a.m. and just 8 degrees there with showers through the middle of the day. I'm sure, Michael, though, they'll find ways to keep warm and happy.
No doubt about that, Murph. They'll enjoy it. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow night on one of the biggest days for Tasmanian football. Good night.